Welcome back to my masterclass. This is a topic that has great controversy, and I think it's a topic that I really want to broach, and I'm excited to speak about. And it's about renting where you live and buying where you can afford. And what that means is a lot of people, maybe they want to live in the GTA or they want to live in an area that they can't afford. So they're renting, and that's understandable. But as soon as they get enough money to be able to purchase a property, I believe they should purchase an investment property somewhere where it's affordable for them, instead of trying to outsave the market. So what that means is putting a certain amount of money away, whether it's TFSA, RSPs, or just in a savings account to try to get enough money saved to purchase a property. Rather than doing that, take the money, put it into a property, and use the leverage from that property to generate or increase your net worth, then sell the property down the line and take those funds and then be able to purchase where you live. That is the concept that a lot of people really need to really delve into, because they're living, whatever money that you're spending on rent is going to be offset on the amount of rent you're collecting on the other side. So if you're paying $3,000 a month in rent in Toronto, but you're collecting $2,000 a month rent in Niagara Falls, you're really only paying $1,000 a month for rent. So the net, that decreases the delta between the two, puts money in your pocket, and puts you in a situation where long term you're gonna make more money. Not only that, you may be investing in an area that's giving you a higher level of appreciation or return than where you want to live. If you're living in or renting $1 million house, you may not be getting the same level of appreciation as a $400,000 per house in terms of percentages, because many times the least expensive houses appreciate the fastest because there's more people in the pool, in that market pool. There's renters who want to be buyers now and they're moving up into that segment, or there's people who are already in that segment and they're moving to the next level up, but this creates a void in that area. So those prices normally rise a lot quicker than say a million or million plus. Unfortunately, there's not that many people in the GTA who can afford $1 million houses, where of course something that's 300,000 or 400,000 is a lot more affordable. So you may get a higher rate of return on that. So for instance, you have a property and you're renting in Toronto, like we said, for 3,000. You go to Niagara Falls and you may buy a $400,000 property and get $2,000 a month rent. Now on that rent, 1,200 of that is going to go toward interest, but 800 may go to principal every month. So every year you're saving money, $10,000 you're saving every year that is going to go toward equity. So that's going to pay down the value of the property. Then in this instance, let's say you're getting 5% appreciation. So that 400,000 becomes 420, and that 420 now becomes 442 or 443, and so on and so forth. There's a compound effect. So if we look at that in 5 years, if we continue to make 5% appreciation, we may have been able to accrue $100,000 in appreciation, and we've paid down $40,000 or $50,000 in equity. So we've created $150,000 in gross value, and this is before you paying taxes or you paying your realtor fees or etc. But it's $150,000 in gross value in 5 years. Were you going to be able to save that much if you were renting? The chances are not. Even if you were making $150,000, would you be able to save $150,000 in 5 years? That would be 20% of your total income every year to get to that point in 5 years where you've saved that much. Now the benefit here is you've had the property do all the work for you. You've managed a single property, but you know where the property is. It's tangible. It's not someone that you don't know, or a property somewhere else, or a stock or a bond that you're not sure how it's managed. It's something that you are managing that's tangible, so that's great. And not only that, it still doesn't stop you from saving. So if you were able to save additional funds on the side, having this property is not going to encumber that in any way. We want to get you into a property that is at least cash flow neutral, meaning you're not putting any money into the property, you're not getting any money out, but it's neutral. So that's not impacting your ability to save. You can still save money on the other side, but you are accruing you're accruing equity and you're getting appreciation on the property. So if you use those things in tandem, that's going to get you to where you want to be a lot faster than taking the money and saving it and putting it in an account. Now, let's say, for instance, that property that we bought in Niagara, we put down 20,000 or even 40, for example. So we put down $40,000 and now we made 150,000 gross in 5 years, plus the initial 40,000 that we put in. So we have 190,000. Now let's contrast that to putting in the 40,000 non-leveraged and we put it in a stock or a bond or a mutual fund or something of that nature. So you have the 40,000, and even if you were doing 10% a year, which is highly unlikely, you would be, in the first year, you would have made $4,000 on that. And that would compound, so on and so forth. After 5 years, you won't have $60,000. You would have only made $20,000 or less dollars total than if you had taken that same 40,000, put it in real estate, and use that as a fulcrum. Let that leverage put you in a situation where you can create additional wealth for yourself without working. What we've seen, obviously, through these current times is you need multiple streams of income. You need to put yourself in a situation to succeed and not be somewhere where someone else offsides or someone you don't know is controlling your money. That's what I like about real estate. It's tangible, it's here, it's now. People are always going to need a place to live. Canada is a safe economy. Obviously, we have a great political system. It's not perfect, but it is great when you look globally. So it's very stable. Our immigration patterns are good. We have people coming in to do work from foreign workers. So all these things impact the appreciation or the ability to make money in real estate. And we've seen the Canadian market be very resilient over time. So this theory has borne fruit many times. I sold real estate on a retail level for over 17 years, and many people wanted to live in the city because it was close for work and they didn't want to spend the travel time, which I completely agree with because time is money. But at those times, they invested in the ancillary or the outside communities, whether it was Curtis, Bowmanville, Niagara, which is a personal favorite of mine, Innisfil, Brantford, some of these other emerging communities. They took their funds, their nest egg, they invested there, they waited for that to grow, they sold those properties and then combined those monies with the additional savings to buy a property. So I always recommend to rent where you want to live and buy where you can afford until you're in a position to buy where you actually want to be.